What is going on, everyone, and welcome to Kart 63. My name is Ben. Thank you very much for stopping by. Boy, there was some rasp to that, huh? I do occasionally dabble a little in the metal band, the screamy, that type of stuff. So occasionally that might come out. Kart 63 is brought to you by Track Tack Tire Treatments, Burris Racing Tires, and BeardOctane.com. Okay. It is cold. It is the first day of racing. I should not be going racing, but I am. The first day at AMS. It's not a points race or anything like that. I'm debating whether or not to enter in the points. I'm not going to be there enough for it to count. But when they have their like double 20s or double 40s or their bigger races, if you are not entered in the points system, then you have to start tail come the feature, and I don't like that. I didn't like that last year. If you can hear my my local fire alarm is going off. We are connected to different towns, so even if they have a fire, our whistle goes off. I don't understand it. Anyway, I saw this topic pop up this week. Somebody, it was in the Southeast, and they were asking, what's the best flat kart chassis out there? As in, they were curious. They wanted to buy one. What is the best of the best? And I thought it would be a fun topic to discuss. Okay, let's get the first things first out of the way. I do not believe that being on one particular chassis makes as much difference as the whole package. I believe that you have to have the kart. I believe you have to have the setup. I believe you have to have the driver, and you have to have the tires. So that being said, this was a fun discussion because I knew how it was going to go. People are very, very tribal when it comes to what chassis brand they run. And you think, I'm new to the sport, Ben. I'm just getting into kart racing. How many brands can there possibly be? I have a list. Of every, and I'm sure I forgot somebody. And if I forgot somebody, I am sorry. It wasn't my intention. There's no ill will. I don't think any less of that chassis brand. I just didn't think of it when I was making the list. All right. So let's, and I know if I did forget somebody, I'm going to offend somebody. I'm going to hear it in the comments. Hey, you didn't mention so-and-so. They've won way back to when, and they did this and that. All I can do is apologize. So we are going to start off the list with what brand I currently run. And arguably in this context, in the what is the best, what is the hottest kart out there to date, I think it would be hard to argue that the Phantom Tricon has made the biggest noise in 2025. They hit on something, whether it, if you're riding a different chassis brand, if you believe that is all hubbub and people just want, they won a couple big races and everybody's jumping on the train. It is what it is. But it would be hard to argue that the Tricon isn't sought after in 2025. It is one of the major brands. So I have Phantom Racing chassis. That's what I ride. I'm on a Recon right now. I have a Scythe as my open chassis. Again, I will state for the record, I ride Phantom. Am I against riding anything else? Absolutely not. I have done so over the past 20 years, but I have been extremely happy with my Phantoms since 2017, and I don't see me changing, but who knows? Second on the list, I have Premier. Obviously, Hermie Sadler's Racing, doing a phenomenal job. Won some really big races. I know somebody personally that runs very well with them. Very cool. Ultramax, cannot deny. C High Performance has proved in UAS that these are a dominant force to be dealt with. Obviously, Evan C has run, three championships on Ultramax, and I hear really, really good things about them, even in flat carts. I hear they're very responsive. Obviously, the design is fantastic. Up next is Charger, obviously a huge name in the karting industry. Millennium, I just recently, because I'm from the Northeast, we don't have a ton of Millenniums up here, But I went and I looked at their chassis design, and you know me. If you've been paying attention to this channel for any amount of time, I love chassis design. I love when builders look outside the box and do something differently, change bar design. It all, because we don't have suspension, those points matter. Where those are welded matters. How that chassis reacts to the surface depends on where the bars are, what the chassis design is. Really cool design. Slack Performance, they're about an hour and a half for me. Nice, solid type of chassis. Obviously, I believe the components to some of the manufacturers I'm mentioning here actually come from Performance, which Performance Manufacturing is Slack Chassis. Platinum, again, another brand that is synonymous with winning. Excellent. Footloose, it's kind of the little brand that can. You see them really making a stink in the world. I think they're I've seen these up close. I've seen them roll. I've seen them win races. Excellent brand. Rails, they're out of Florida, also making some noise. It's obviously they're 1,800 miles away from me, so you don't see a whole bunch of Rails up in the Northeast. So it is what it is. But I see that they handle well. It seemed like a really nice design. Trick Olympic. I used to ride Trick a long time ago. I had the Panaz Pro and the Apex after that. Fantastic brand. We had back in the UAS days, we had a big contingency. No, that's not the word I'm looking for. Anyway, we had quite a few people that were riding Trek Olympic back in the day. Going from that into the Redemptions, into the Monsters. Again, super great designs. I really like the way Mark Mode designs chassis. They don't produce a ton of them anymore. So it is what it is. Infinity, obviously, my first UAS win came on an Infinity Epic. Still, I think I finally got rid of it. I bent it pretty bad and finally got rid of it. But I see Ward is starting to make a push back. I'm really hoping that Ward Manufacturing is the one that makes the Infinity chassis. I really hope he sticks with it. It's probably my only concern with them as far as clutches, as far as chassis. Are they going to stick with it this time? It's kind of been hit or miss. They came on real strong. They built some really good chassis. They build clutches and all that, and then they fade, and then they come back and fade. And it's my criticism of them, but I think it's warranted. Prowler, again, a Florida-based chassis. I've ridden a Prowler before. That was way back. I visited my dad in Florida. He had a couple 04s Prowlers, 1 3/8 chassis. Very fast, a very good design Kart. Demon Racing chassis, right here, Denver Smith. More of a basic type of chassis, very purposefully built. I think that Denver has a great concept there that, as much as I love chassis design, the basic concept of this cart makes it work. It makes that tire window big. Everything I've heard about the Demon has been absolutely fantastic. Legend racing carts, again, phenomenal design. I like it from the Midwest. They make it a big stake. Just won the big race out there. I'm drawing a blank. The Buddha BK race. Yeah, that's it. Drawing a blank there as soon as I want to say it. Anyway, the whatever number BK it was, Stonsberry went out and dominated. He was on a Legend chassis. Absolutely phenomenal design. I actually got to talk with the owner. Super nice dude. I really like what he's got going on. Rage carts. They've been around for a very long time. I haven't seen a ton of Rage. Again, I'm in Western New York. It doesn't mean that these chassis aren't, they don't mean anything because they're not prevalent in where I am. But it's what I see. If I don't see a lot of something, I don't know a whole lot about it. But Rage carts, I know that they have a they have a big. It's in the Northeast, but more up New Hampshire area. They have a foot up in there. Champion Performance. These are my buddies out of they're down near Blairsville, Pennsylvania. Phenomenal design. Their UAS ride, it's the only one I've seen, but Champion Performance. The high quality is all I can say. They're very, very well built, especially for the UAS. I saw him, dude. I think it was a second faster than I was, maybe a second and a half in that Northeast Divisional. Mind you, the track was pretty rough, and I was not having it. If you guys saw my short, front end's all bent up on the scythe. But man, he had that GM on that Champions Performance chassis. Whew, smoking fast. Shatter Chassis, another smaller brand that I think is making some noise. I believe Asheville. They're near Asheville, Tennessee, and run at that track. I know my buddy Cooper down there. They just got some Shatter Chassis down there, so super cool to see. I love the small builders. It's great to have your Phantoms and your Premiers. You need those guys, but the small builders also make a lot of noise. Also, I can't go without saying Firewater. I talked briefly via Messenger with that gentleman. I think he's got a really good thing going on. He's got obviously his own prep line going on. I can't promote them here, but he's got his own prep line going on at Firewater. Has designed a couple chassis. What I really like is, if you notice on the back side of their chassis, the rails that they actually mount their axle to are movable. So you can actually change how long your wheelbase is on a kart. I think that would be, phenomenal for, obviously, for good reason. You can tighten that up for your bull rings. You can also elongate that if you are on something a lot bigger, a lot faster to stabilize the kart. So a really cool design. So all this, I wanted to mention all these chassis makers for a reason, that new people coming in might only see what's in front of them, and that might be great for you. I have often suggested that you should run what you can get the most information on. It's one thing that, say if Phantom, this is not their case, but if Phantom, has the Tricon and everybody wants it, but they are giving out no information. Nobody's on them. Nobody understands what they do. It's just a name out there. I hate that. You want a support system, whether it be from the manufacturer or from people around you. You want to buy what you can get information on, where you can bounce ideas off. Hey, my kart's doing this. How do I fix that? Somebody swoops in. Hey, man, change your camber. They really like, a camber change here for this particular track. They like this type of tire, blah, blah, blah. The support system is best of all. So it's, best flat kart is I want to say a relative term. It depends what area you're in. It depends how much information you can get and assistance, track support, and all that stuff at whatever track you're running. Not so much what brand it is. Any one of these brands that I just labeled off can win. But you need, just what I said in the beginning, you need the kart. You need the setup. You need the driver. And you need the tires. Without all these four things hitting exactly at once, you're gonna have a problem winning. You just don't roll out and buy the best set of tires and put it on something, that a setup and a driver that isn't prepared. It will make you better than you were, but those people who are hitting on all four of those components are going to go ahead and win. So, I thought it was a fun discussion down in the comments. What do you ride? What is your preferred brand? What if you had a chance to buy a new chassis in 2025, what would you be on? I think, I like the engagement videos. It's fun to answer the questions on the now almost 13 million view video there. I'm not bragging. I'm just bringing it up. It's on the cusp of 13 million views. It's fun to engage with those people because they don't know what I'm doing. They're calling me idiot. They're blah, 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 all the stuff that comes with that. I like engaging with you. I like engaging with new racers. What do you have? Also, in this subject, somebody says, how long can a chassis last? And I answer honestly, you're going to have, obviously people who are at the upper tier that, hey, they get flexed out and this and that. You're a Saturday night racer. You are not the person hunting the 10,000 to win, the 50,000 to win. You're not that person. A chassis will last as long as you keep it straight, as long as you're not in any hard wrecks where you're bending your left rear rail or anything like that. Components matter. That replace your components, replace your bearings, your spindles, You can get wear points, your rear axle, your rear axle bearing, all the components that make it work are more important than worrying about being flexed out on a chassis. I have run against a lot of people who are on a lot older stuff, be it UAS, be it clone, anything like that, and because they're on point with their maintenance, because their components are up to date, because they're on point with their tires, they are still competitive, they can still win. So if you are new to the world of karting, you are thinking about a chassis, if you can buy a new chassis every year if you want to. Not telling you can't do it. If you have the finances to do it, fantastic. Good for you. I support your effort, supporting karting as a whole and keeping these chassis manufacturers in business. Fantastic. But if you are a budget racer like myself, replace your components. It will keep you in the game longer. That chassis is going to be really, really close to competitive with the newer stuff, unless something leaps and bounds happens in the world of chassis design, which I don't think it quite has. Maybe the Tricon? It is the hottest thing on the market now, isn't it? Just gotta throw some fuel in the fire. Gotta stoke it up a little bit. Anyway, I just thought this would be a fun video. I'm freezing. I'm going racing. I'm nuts. I want to try the new. I want to try the new Insta360. See how that. What footage I can get out of that, how it's going to look and all that stuff. And honestly, it's been 6 months since I've been behind the wheel, and I'm jonesing, man. I'm really jonesing. So, all right, guys, I think that is it for today. I will say that Kart 63 is brought to you by Track Tack Tire Treatments, Burris Racing Tires, and BeardOctane.com. I had a blast with you last Thursday on the Dirt Kart Racer Live every Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. right here, Eastern Standard Time, because I'm over on the East Coast. Just to let you know. We go live, we chat for like an hour, you bounce ideas off of me. If you do not talk to me, I will work on the kart, and I will kind of talk about what I'm doing while I'm working the kart, while I'm doing tires, whatever it is I'm doing. But I love the interaction, I love the engagement with you guys, and it gives me ideas such as this, for videos in the future. But new video next week. Hopefully I get you some kart racing action with the new camera and everything. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. Today's a test. We're testing the new setup. We're testing a new camera. We got the brand new rebuilt clone. It's all a test. I'm just gonna log some laps, break the rust off over a long winter. Even though it's still cold, I'm jonesing, man. Just give it to me. Give me that racing. All right, guys. I will see you in the next video. Later.